We look at international developments very carefully in developing our forecast. We've been tracking closely developments in Greece and China and other parts of the world. The issues that exist are not new. For example, the committee in June was aware of these developments. And in June, when the participants wrote down their views of the economy and appropriate policy, taking into account these developments and the risks they posed, they still thought that the overall risk to the U.S. economic outlook were balanced, and they judged that it would likely be appropriate sometime this year to begin raising our target range for the federal funds rate.
What we're seeing in Greece is obviously a human tragedy, and I think there's a colossal political miscalculation by the Syriza party, but there's also been a colossal economic miscalculation for the last few years by Europe. You cannot impose austerity in the middle of a recession and expect things to get better. But for markets, we've just got to recognize that this is a distraction, because Europe can get on with or without Greece. This is really a Greek problem. I think Greece is not contagious anymore. And what I really like about Janet Yellen's testimony is she is very on message. She's talking about the U.S. economy. If labor markets continue to tighten, if they think inflation is moving back to 2%, then they will begin to raise rates. And I think that's right. I think people should listen. It's much easier to watch the pictures from Greece, but I think actually listening to Janet Yellen is actually more profitable in the long run for investors.
This was the good quarter that many of us have been waiting for. This is the quarter, this is the post-Justice Department quarter. It is the quarter where they're getting the expenses down. It's the quarter that so many of us have said, if this one ever gets it right, ain't no stopping it now. This was their first good quarter. I've been critical of them, waiting. Smoke is cleared, net interest margin, what I want, expense cuts. David, Bank of America becomes, and my preference has always been Wells, and I like J.P. Morgan, but Bank of America is going to not be stopped at the 17 level anymore.